Hi there, this is the video to showcase 205CDE website. I'm first going to show the home page, which is here. I will extend it after to show you the size and how it's responsive. The first thing on the top is HTML, head, meta, title, standard. Then you have links. The links go to Bootstrap. That's a link to some JavaScript. That's another link to Bootstrap, and that's the style sheet. Next is the navigation bar, which is Bootstrap. Has the icons. This is where the logo will be, which is right here. Inserted the image. This image is also made by myself. I drew it myself on Adobe Illustrator. The next is the drop down menu, which are the links here. Before I go any further, this website is a games website. As you can see, it has 4 categories: action, adventure, puzzle, and shooter. The navigation bar closes here, and this is the main content. So just the standard title, welcome to Igloo. The name of the website is called Igloo. Then has a link to the play action games. So that will link, not play action games, sorry, the title action. Then has an image below that, which I also made myself. Then I've linked an image to a popular game, Agario, which will have a link towards that game on a different web page. This is very similar throughout, so it will have the picture, then the description of the game, and then a link to play now. This goes throughout all the different categories: adventure, puzzle, and shooter. The next I will show is a game. Also, as you can see with the folder structure, it's followed the Flask structure with all my HTML files in the template and all my other files in the static. So I will show a standard game, Cube Buster. So this code is very similar. It has the links, the navigation bar. I'll preview this so you can see. This is all responsive as well, so it will change with size. And this is just an embed link from Miniclip. And as I preview it, the game should load. There you go, and the game loads. Next I will show is one of the category web pages, action. Standard again, has all the links and the navigation bar. So the action page will have 5 games, which all have links. It's all responsive again. It's responsive to smartphones, so it's phone sized. And this will link to all the games here. This is similar throughout the others as well, so it will be the same with puzzle. It will have the different games. Which will link. Next I will show the about page, which does contain some JavaScript. I made a slideshow through JavaScript, but I made the script inside the HTML page using script tags instead of a separate JavaScript file. Yeah, here it is. So I made embedded it inside of a div tag, and then gave it a bootstrap class, so it's responsive. Then linked the images with a href, so all these images will be loaded. I then made a class which will have the slideshow buttons, and on click it will plus or minus the divs with this symbol. I believe it's a code which links to the symbol of an arrow, plus and minus, with the 4 and 5. So that's them. And then it's a variable, slide number starts at 1, and it will show the divs of that slide number. Then I made a function, which is basically adding the numbers, adding the slides so it keeps rolling forward. I then get the document by class name, my slides right there. Then if n is greater than x, the length of x, the slide number will equal 1. And I nest another one. If n is less than 1, slide number equals the length of x. And then a for loop is embedded into both of them, which starts with I equals 0, and then the length of x, and then keeps adding to x. This will basically display the image every time. So if it's more, it will keep rolling, it will keep moving to the next image on a constant for loop whenever it's clicked. And that ends the script of that. The final page, which contains JavaScript, is contact, which I also did in the script tag. It's a clock. I made a clock, which will just keep rolling the time. This is the contacts page, which is where the users will basically add their information into it. So they have a username, first name, second name, email, and then comments. It will feed a feedback towards how they feel of the website. This is linked to the database, so it should post the information into the database using a post method. And so I'll now describe the clock JavaScript. It's a function, start time, made a variable which brings in the library date. Then hours get time of the hours, so it's bringing in the hours. Then minutes and seconds. Minutes and seconds check time, which is a function below here. This function basically says if it's less than 10, add a 0 in front of it, so it seems more presentable. And that's it for that one. So if it's less than 10, add a 0 to the end of it. I'm now approaching the limit of my time, so I will do another video, which will be part 2. which I'll explain the Flask and the database.